Welcome back with a new math tutorial. In this video we are talking about decimals and the fraction and the relation between them. At the first, the decimal, as we said before, is a number that uses the place value and decimal point to represent a part of a whole one. And the fraction is a part of a whole one. So we can convert between the fraction and decimal to fraction. The fraction represented by the numerator and denominator. We can convert from the fraction to the decimal if the denominator equals 10, 100, 1000 and so on. Now in question number 1, we need to write each decimal as a fraction with denominator equals 10. So we have here 0.2. As we said before, to represent as a fraction, just write the number at the right of the decimal as the numerator without any change. Now we have one digit at the right of the decimal. Because we have one digit at the right of the decimal, it means the denominator now will be equals 10. So it will be equals 2 over 10. To shade the model only, we need to shade 2 parts out of 10. In question number 2, we have 0.5. As we said, we just write 5 without any change. Because we have only one digit at the right of the decimal point, it means the denominator now will be equals 10. If we have 2 digits, the denominator now will be equals to 100. To shade the model, we just shade 5 parts. In question number 3, we have 0.6. 0.6, it will be 6 out of 10. We just write the number at the right of the decimal, which is 6. Now because we have only one digit at the right of the decimal, it means the denominator now will be equals 10. To shade, we will shade only 6 parts. In this question, we need to write each decimal as a fraction with denominator equals 100. In question number 7, we have 0.39. Just write the number which lies at the right of the decimal without any change as the numerator. Now because we have 2 digits at the right of the decimal, it means the denominator will be equals 100. If we have only one digit, the denominator will be equals 10. But if we have 2 digits, the denominator will be equals 100. To shade 39, we just shade 3 full columns and 9 small squares. In question number 8, we have 0.09. Just write the number which lies at the right. Because we have 2 digits, the denominator will be equals 100. Now I will shade only 9 small squares. In question number 9, we have 0.23. We will just write 23 without any change. Because we have 2 digits at the right, we will just write the denominator as 100. So it will be 23 over 100. To shade the model, we have here 23. 20, it means we will shade 2 full columns. And 3, it means we will shade only 3 small squares. And that's how can we write the decimal as a fraction, then shade the model. In this question, we need to write each fraction as the equivalent fraction with denominator equals to 100. We have 1 over 10. As we said, we can write equivalent fraction once we multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. To make the denominator equals 100, it means we need to multiply it by 10. So I will just multiply up by 10 and down by 10. So we have here 1 times 10 which equals to 10. And 10 times 10 which equals to 100. Now we can shade. If the denominator equals 10, so I will shade only 1 column. But if the denominator equals 100, we will shade only 10 small square which represent as 1 column. You will find that if the denominator equals 10 or the denominator equals 100, we have the same number of columns. 8 over 10. As we said before, I will just multiply up by 10 and down by 10 to make the denominator equals to 100. To write equivalent fraction. So we have 8 multiplied by 10 which equals to 8. And 10 multiplied by 10 which equals to 100. If the denominator equals 10, I will just shade 8 columns. But if the denominator equals 100, also will shade 8 columns, because each column represents 10. 5 over 10 will make the same. Just we add 0 up and 0 down to write equivalent fraction. So it will be 50 over 100. And we will shade 5 columns if the denominator equals 10 and also 5 columns if the denominator equals 100.